Namaskar, welcome to XCHM Digital. Today's topic of discussion is the beaches, lakes, waterfalls and the hot springs of Odisha. The main attraction for the tourists who hunt for Odisha is its golden sand beaches. The beaches of Odisha with their soft golden sand fringed by surging seawater that constantly changes colors and a sky with breathtaking sunsets continue to lay claim to being among the best in the world. It is not very difficult to find a quiet spot to enjoy the sun and sea, and its numerous admiring visitors start flocking to the beaches in the winter months too, since the seawater is still warm enough to taking a dip. Puri Beach. Puri Beach is considered as one of the longest beach not only in Odisha but in the country as a whole. From morning to evening, the seashore at Puri hums with a charming multiplicity of activities. When they're done with its soft pace whose caresses and soothes the restless sea waves, pilgrims in search of peace or salvation also enter the water with folded hands and a prayer on their lips, seek the blessings of the sun, water and earth. As the sun climbs higher into the sky and the seabirds with their strange cries begin the wheel overhead, holidaymakers intent on fun and frolic also make a beeline for the seashore. With the sacred mission to Puri, one of the holiest places for all the believers, pilgrims tend to hurry back after taking their sacred dips. But tourists and travelers who have journeyed to Puri to taste the joys of its beach linger and stroll on the vast expanse of sands at peace with themselves. Patisonapur Beach. This beach is approximately 20 kilometers from Barampur and 35 kilometers from Gopalpur on sea. Right on the confluence of the river Bahuda and the Bay of Bengal, the scenic beauty of the area is simply enchanting. Chandipur Beach. Though a small place, Chandipur is a peaceful seaside resort where the sea recedes and proceeds 5 kilometers every day. It is 16 kilometers away from Baleswar, the district headquarters. Tarasari Beach. This beach is situated at a distance of 88 kilometers from Baleswar, 4 kilometers from Chandaneshwar and 8 kilometers from Digha Beach, West Bengal. One could behold with surprise the glistening glory of the Bay of Bengal that spreads like bejeweled carpet as far as one's eye could reach. Konark Beach. The world-famous Konark Beach lies only 35 kilometers eastwards from Puri and 3 kilometers from the world-famous Sun Temple at Konark. With a long stretch of clean sands and cool blue sea making rapids in rolling waves, the beach claims to be one of the best in the eastern coast for having a lovely serenity of its own. Gopalpur on Sea. Southwest from Puri lies the offbeat beach resort in Gopalpur on Sea. It is located 16 kilometers from Barampur. The Gopalpur on Sea is also considered as one of the best beach in Odisha. In some ways, the beach is more exotic than the other beaches on the coastline of Odisha. Palm and coconut trees and coconut groves add a touch of their own to the exclusive beach, free from the distractions and the multitudes that through the beach at Puri. One can still see the crumbling walls and pillars of the jetty, witness to its past glory of commercial activity as a major part. Lakes and water bodies. Odisha has a number of sparkling lakes, both natural and artificial. The natural lakes are Chilika, Sar and Samanga with salt water and Anshupa and Kanjia with fresh water. The artificial lakes in Odisha are the water reservoir above the Hirakud Dam known as Hirakud Lake and Rasalkonda Ghai over the Rusikulya at Bhanjanagar. Chilika. The Chilika, which is the largest inland lake in the country, lies in the southern part of Odisha's coastland. It is a lagoon with brackish water and stretches through the districts of Puri, Khordha and Ganjam, close by to the sea and opening into it in the rainy season. From north to south, the Chilika is about 65 kilometers long, of which the broad northern half has a maximum breadth of 18 kilometers and the tapering southern half has a minimum breadth of 5 kilometers only. The area fluctuates in different seasons, varying from 1,165 square kilometers in the rainy season to 906 square kilometers in the summer. The beauty of Lake Chilika is so lovely that the poet Kavivar Radhanath Rai describes it as the storehouse of nature's beauty. The finest time to visit Chilika is during winter. Boats to tour the lake can be hired at Baluga, Borakul and Rambha. One can pursue the local fish folks to take him on one of their native wooden boats. Rambha. Situated at the southern end of the lake, it is a popular tourist site with a number of inviting islands and vast stretch of blue water. There is a Panthanivas at Rambha. The following places can be memorable destinations for peaceful excursions from Rambha. Nalabana Sanctuary. Nalabana Island was notified as sanctuary considering its unique features as the habitat for the avifauna. Nalabana Sanctuary. It constitutes an area of 15.53 square kilometers and was notified in 1987. The avifauna is diverse and includes 225 species belonging to 26 families. The avifauna is predominated by 22 species of ducks and geese. Out of 225 species, 97 species are considered to be intercontinental migrants. Birds from as far as the Caspian Sea, Lake Baikal, Aral Sea, Russia, Mongolia, Central and Southeast Asia, Ladakh and Himalayas visit the lake during the winter. Beacon Island. Located at 3 kilometers away from the Rambha OTDC bungalow, it is an architectural marvel with a conical pillar and a small room constructed on a submerged mass of rock in the Rambha Bay near Ghantasila Hill. It was built by Mr. Snodgrass, the then collector of Ganjam under East India Company. As per the old document, Mr. Snodgrass used to relax and do office work on this island. The ornamental pillar was constructed to put a light on the top. The water spread around the Beacon Island is very charming. Breakfast Island. This island is located in Rambha Bay and in between Badakura and Somalo Island. It is a pear-shaped island. It is otherwise known as Sankhura Island. A bungalow was constructed on this island by the king of Kalikot. Mr. Snodgrass, the then collector of Ganjam, used to occupy this bungalow quite frequently. This island was full of greenery. Honeymoon Island. This island is situated in the Rambha Bay near the Sanapura Island. It is 5 kilometers away from Rambha jetty. It is otherwise known as Badakura Island. Britishers in past used this island for holding picnic parties. The water around the island is very clear and dark blue in color. Somalo and Damkuri. It is situated in the central and southern sector of the lagoon. Though rocky, they are rich in flora and fauna. Dolphins are often sighted on the peripheral waters of Somalo Island. A beautiful and unique backdrop to Somalo is the Kalikot Hill Range. Birds Island. This is a small hillock with huge exposed hanging rocks. It is situated in the southern sector of Chilika. It is 4 kilometers away of Rambha tourist bungalow and 1 kilometer away on the eastern side of the Ghantasila Hill. Parikud. A complex of islands including Baranikura, Malatikura, Bodakura and Sanakura located along the eastern side of Chilika was originally known as Old Parikud. The island is covered with the herbs, shrubs, trees and creepers. The granite rocks are the remnants of Eastern Ghats. Some of the rocks are painted with white and dropping off the birds. They are collectively known as the Ghat Krishna Prasad block and are a unique place for the nature lovers. Kalijai Temple. Kalijai Temple is situated on a rockery land and it is the abode of goddess Kalijai. She is venerated due to a folklore and legend. It is an excellent destination for tourists and attracts pilgrims and most visitors round the year. Makar Sankranti is celebrated with great pomp and many devotees visit the place on that day. Manikapatna. It is situated along the outer channel. As per the historical record, there was a port which was used for trade with East countries. Bhabakundareswar temple of Lord Shiva is located here. An old mosque now in ruins can also be seen here. Sattapada. Sattapada is another retreat in the bosom of nature on Chilika Lake. It is now opened up for the visitors. Up till now, Barakula and Rambha were the base centers for a visit to this largest brackish water lake in Asia. Located on the eastern shore of the lake, it is situated 50 kilometers from Puri. It is bounded by the lagoon on 3 sides and thus offers an excellent view of the lake. One main attraction of Sattapada is Irrawaddy dolphins, once abundant but now an endangered species. Chilika is a unique ecosystem and is a hotspot for biodiversity. It provides ample scope for the scientific study of the ecosystem. For scientific monitoring of biological and physical parameters of the lagoon, a wetland research and training center, first of its kind in India, has been established in Chandraput near Baluga in the year 2002, named after eminent Odia environmentalist Banka Bihari Das. The Chilika Developmental Authority has established an aquarium, wetlands, auditorium, museum, and scientist hostel in Barkul. The lake is of great value in preserving genetic ecological diversity because of the variety of habitats, flora and fauna. It is naturally aquarium of about 160 varieties of fish. It yields around 7,000 tons of catch annually, mostly prawns, pomfrets, mulettes and crabs, and is thus a source of living to thousands of families of fish folk of the adjacent areas. Tampara. About 15 kilometers from Gopalpur beach near NH16 lies the beautiful Tampara beach. With gentle waves breaking on the shores, Tampara offers great venues for water sports. One can also take a leisurely stroll through the vast stretches of cashew plantations along the shore. An exciting trek of about 2 kilometers through these plantations leads to a virgin beach on the Bay of Bengal. A trip to Tampara is sure to be very adventurous as well as pleasurable. Anchupa. This is a horseshoe-shaped freshwater lake which is situated on the left bank of Mahanadi opposite to Banki in Cuttack district. It is at present about 5 kilometers long and 1.6 kilometers wide. The lake stands at the foot of the Saranda Hills. This attractive tourist spot is about 35 kilometers from Bhubaneswar. Kanjia. Kanjia is a tiny freshwater lake lies south of Baranga in Chandaka area of Khordha district. It is hemmed in on 3 sides by flat hillocks with a slope only to the east. The Nandankanan Biological Park is located on the southern hillock while the Botanical Garden is located on the northern hillock. This lake is a part of the visiting spot for those who come to Nandankanan. Boating facilities are available in the lake. Sir, the Sar Lake and the Samanga wetland are 2 adjacent brackish water marshes lying to the northeast of Puri town. Hirakud. The vast lake stretching upstream from Hirakud on the river Mahanadi, surrounded by hills on either side and bagged by the dam below, covers an area of 746 square kilometers and has a shoreline of 640 kilometers. It is possible to drive along the dike on a 21 kilometers long roadway and survey the panoramic beauty from a watchtower with a revolving platform called Jawahar Minar situated on the western end. Hirakud is 26 kilometers away from Sambalpur town and a large number of migratory birds come here during winter. It is an ideal place for outing. It is a panacea for the city dwellers. Dandadhar. About 65 kilometers from Dhenkanal and 30 kilometers from Kamakhya Dandadhar is the site of an irrigation project on the river Ramila, an ideal place for outing. Rengali, River Brahmani shelters a dam and reservoir at Rengali amidst picturesque environs. At a distance of 92 kilometers from Anugul town, it is a quiet place for outing. Indravati, originating near Thamul Rampur, Indravati makes its winding course through dense forests and sun-kissed valleys till she halts as Khatiguda. Kolab, only 15 kilometers from Korapur, the river Kolab makes a spectacular jump to Bagra from a reservoir called Upper Kolab Irrigation Project. Soradagai, about 80 kilometers from Barampur, there lies an ideal place for outing in Soradagai near Sorada. At times, the water of this reservoir is channelized to the Rusikulya river for irrigation. Upper Junk, an irrigation project Upper Junk near village Patora, 16 kilometers from Nuapada, the district headquarters town, is a place of uncommon scenic charm and asylum to aquatic fauna. Now it's time to discuss about the major waterfalls of Odisha. Khandadhar. Khandadhar waterfall is located amidst in the forest of Sundargarh. The height of the fall is 225 meters. It is the highest waterfall in the state. The magnificent sight of the fall makes a great picnic spot. Bada Ghagra. This fall is on Ghagra river, a tributary to the Brahmani in Keonjhar district. The 60 meters fall is about 10 kilometers from Keonjhar. Another waterfall, Sana Ghagra, is lying about 5 kilometers from Keonjhar. These two falls are amongst the most popular picnic sites in the region. Another pretty spot is Gonasika, where the Baitarani river goes underground briefly and jumps out further down over a stone projection like the nostril of a cow. Nrsimhanath, the sacred hills of Gandhamardhana in the district of Bargarh, enshrines the temple of Nrsimhanath. Bhimadhar, Gadadhar, Guptadhar and Chaladhar are picturesque waterfalls at Nrsimhanath. Besides the falls, there are archaeological remains of ancient times. Harisankar. It is considered as one of the beautiful waterfalls in Odisha. On the southern side of Gandhamardhan, Harishankar dazzles with a series of bewitching waterfalls cascading on the hill slopes, the last one providing a water slide to the amusement of bathers. To walk over the hilltop from Harisankar to Nrsimhanath and vice versa, a distance of 16 kilometers through the glories of nature and culture is an experience by itself. The culture of this place is enriched by the Buddhists. Furli Jharana. The 16-meter long waterfall is located only 16 kilometers away from Bhavanipatna, the district headquarters of Kalahandi district. The multicolored rainbows created by the sun rays falling on the scattered water particles of the fall has a special charm of its own. Pradhanpat. The Pradhanpat hill with its picturesque waterfall offers a rare scenic beauty and is close to Devgarh. The distance between Devgarh and Sambalpur is approximately 88 kilometers in NH 53. The height of the waterfall is 50 meters. Duduma, also known as Machakunda. Duduma, a charming waterfall on the river of Machakunda, 70 kilometers from Jaipur, is also a place of pilgrimage and rare scenic beauty. Devakunda is situated approximately 140 kilometers from Chandipur and 65 kilometers from Baripada. It is an enchanting destination with thick green forest in the outer periphery of Similipal. A beautiful perennial waterfall is situated inside the Meghashani valley of Similipal range of Uddala block in the district of Mayurbhanj. The water is falling from the hilltop in 5 stages by creating 5 kundas named as Amrita Kunda, Grita Kunda, Haladi Kunda, Devi Kunda and the lowest one being Deva Kunda. On the river bank of Dev, festivals takes place on Raja and Makar Sankranti. Barai Pani. Another waterfall is known as Barai Pani, situated on the river of Budha Balanga in the Meghashani mountain of Mayurbhanj district. The waterfall height is 217 meters. Hot springs. There are also 4 hot springs gushing out mineral waters with a high percentage of sulfur. The foremost among them is Attri. It is located at a distance of 42 kilometers from Bhubaneswar near the Lord Hatakeshwara temple in the districts of Khordha. The water is at a constant temperature of 55 degrees Celsius and is believed to have medicinal properties. The bathing complex here is a craze for visitors. The second one is Taptapani at a distance of 51 kilometers from Berhampur on the eastern slope of Eastern Ghats. The spring's healing waters are piped directly into the bathrooms of the Panthanivasas. Attri and Taptapani are well-known tourist centers. The third and the less known one is at Deul Jhari near Athamallik in the districts of Anugul. The development of Deul Jhari has been taken off by the tourism department, Government of Odisha. The hot spring seems to flow from the bottom of a Sivalingam. The water is naturally channelized to 36 ponds on the outer skirts of Shiva temple. Believed to contain medical properties, a bath in the spring has religious importance too. The fourth one is at Tabalo in Nayagarh districts. Namaskar.